Why do people get into amateur radio? Or more importantly, why do people not get into amateur radio? I think a lot of people are reluctant to get into amateur radio for some of the following reasons. Number one, the exams and regulations are too hard. Number two, I don't know much about it. Number three, it's expensive and you need lots of equipment. Number four, I'm only interested in DX, long distance. Number five, it's snobbish compared to CB radio and PMR 446, which for the uninitiated are unlicensed. Number six, it's just 5 and 9 and move on. Number seven, it's just talking, isn't it? Let's have a look at some of my personal experiences. Number one, knowledge. The Basic Health Foundation licence is not too hard for most people, even if they don't come from a technical background. You can get help with training for free, either at a local amateur radio club or take online classes from organisations like SXM. There are others. I took mine with SXM. They will take you through it in small groups and go at the pace of the slowest person in that group, and generally do it over several classes. They will generally do it over several classes. Now you can take the actual test online as well, by the way. The RSGB, which is the representational body of amateur radio, has many links to resources like clubs and books. The Basic Health Foundation licence is not too hard for most people, even if you're not from a technical background. You can get help with training for free, either at a local amateur radio club or take online classes from an organisation like SXM. They will take you through it in small groups, go at the pace of the slowest person in that group, and generally do it over several classes. I took my training with them. The RSGB has many links to resources like clubs and books, training manuals, especially the Foundation Training Manual, which is only £7.99. There are 3 tests that you can take, and they do get progressively harder and more expensive. I personally started in 2021 during lockdown and used the SXM and RSGB book, the Foundation Licence Manual, which we're looking at, for the first exam, and did the online training. It's a good idea also to get somebody to help you by testing you on it. Number 2 reason, I don't know much about it. As we've proven, there are books, local clubs, YouTube video channels, including mine, Techmaker UK, to inform and show you the possibilities. It's a much more diverse and involving hobby than most people think. Here are the local clubs that you can find for free on the RSGB website. That's within 50 miles of my location, just as for instance. Reason number 3, it's expensive and you need to get lots of equipment. Well, you can pay up to £7,000 for it just for a radio, and probably more if you look on a certain well-known website that I won't name, but it's a very popular one. But you can get started and listen to amateur radio with a computer online with a web SDR for free, and you can pick locations all over the world, which is absolutely an amazing experience, I promise you, and all you need is an internet connection. You can listen in through different people's antenna and radio equipment. You can also get a basic radio, such as an RTL SDR, for under 30 quid or around 30-40 quid in UK money, maybe $50 in the States. There's this one, there's the new elect ones. You can then go up into hundreds and even thousands of pounds. You'll be amazed at what's actually out there, even with a simple radio and a basic antenna. The ones that come with are garbage, by the way. You can either buy or make your own, just out of a bit of wire. These will enable you to listen to a wide range of radio activities, both amateur and private radio, across the world for very little money. You'll also be able to listen to weather and radio satellites. My first radio, like many others, was a Baofeng UV-S9. So this is the cheapest one, the Baofeng UV-5R. I actually bought a UV-S9 for a couple of quid more. You can get them even the UV-5R even cheaper, but you generally have change out of 20 quid on eBay or Amazon for a UV-5R. How good is it for the money? Well, it's VHF UHF transceiver, has maximum 5 watts transmission, 127 memories. This will let you talk to local people using simplex. That is, both transmit and receive on the same frequency. This could easily be 15 miles in line of sight, or if you go and stand on top of a hill, even further, or a wide open space like a park. It would also, with some programming, let you use local repeaters on VHF 2 meters and UHF 70 centimeters. These will connect much further, as the repeaters are typically located on high points and generally transmit around 25 watts. They are free to use and made by volunteers and local amateur radio groups. These generally use duplex transmission, where the transmit and receive frequencies are staggered by either 0.6 MHz, 1.6 MHz, or sometimes a lot more. Of course, you can spend thousands on radio equipment, but you can also buy great second-hand equipment through clubs and eBay too. A lot of my equipment is second-hand. My HF radio is. Number 4. I'm only interested in DX, long distance. Some repeaters on VHF and UHF, amongst others, are connected to other repeaters and worldwide networks using the internet. I personally have worked stations in the USA from Nottingham in the United Kingdom while walking in a local park on a handheld walkie-talkie, a Baofeng actually. Of course, you can buy HF transceivers and antennas and work the world directly with up to 1,000 watts depending on your license level on a lot of bands. Reason number 5. It's snobbish compared to CB and PMR 446. Well, like any hobby, some people like to express an opinion as if they're an authority on it. But they're very much outnumbered by people who will recognise a foundation or intermediate licence holder by their call sign and offer useful advice without criticism. Everyone has to learn and has transmission anxiety when they first make QSOs or contacts. Everybody does, it's just part of the learning curve. In my youth, I used CB radio for quite a few years. While 27 MHz CB radio is popular in some areas, there are now PMR 446 walkie-talkies that you can buy for under 20 quid that will let you transmit to your friends a few miles away. Or if you find a big enough hill, maybe 60 miles away. I'll put a link to Lewis with his YouTube channel, Ringway Manchester. The guy is brilliant and he was one of my inspirations for getting involved in the hobby. He does cover amateur radio as well as PMR and a lot of other things. There's always a minority of idiots behind a keyboard or a radio who will play music or not give a call sign or just hug the repeater or channel just to upset people. The good people outweigh the bad though, and you will make friends in no time, and you'll recognise those call signs again. Point number 6. It's just 5 and 9, you call sign and move on. Well, yes, and also no. When there are contests, these are the European contests, site cqcontest.eu. When there are contests, the objective is to make as many contacts as possible and often score points by which country or continent you can make them in, or Cambridge locators, which divide the world up into squares. So when they're on the bands, it will sound like call sign, report, number, repeat, repeat, repeat. But contests only last a few hours, they're only generally on weekends, and you may want to try them out yourself to get your logbook looking good. Many contacts will also want to get a line in the log, but they may also want to rag chew, as they say, or chewing the cud, as we say in the UK. Just means having a conversation. They can be on many different subjects, not just amateur radio. These are longer conversations that can last from minutes to hours and become a regular event, with other people joining in. There are also schedule nets on bands where each person logs their call sign with the net controller at the start of the net. Then a themed discussion will take place with each member's call sign being shouted out, and him or her is invited to join in the conversation. These are a great way to get over your initial nerves for a beginner, and many experienced operators will be there to help you along. I did this for quite a while when I first started, and I did it working mobile as well, which is quite a lot of fun. There are always more experienced operators to help you along. Amateur radio clubs often run these, and you don't need to be a member to participate. It's just talking, isn't it? Not at all. Morse code is still used, and it's a great skill to learn, particularly if you live in a country like America where the mainline communications can go off altogether. SHTF they call it. Shit, it's the fan. But if you have a major weather disaster and it knocks out the internet in an area, the Morse coders will still be talking long after everybody else has given up. That's not to say you can't talk with voice as well. Voice chat in analogue and digital formats, satellite communication, including via the ISS, digital communication of text via modes like FT8, WSPR or Whisper, and many more. You can transmit pictures via SSTV. It's a low-resolution mode. Pictures via SSTV, mostly low-resolution ones like these, or amateur television, which is a low-resolution television mode. You can even use Morse code without being able to read or write it, using software like FLDigi. I have tried that. It's not easy, but it's good fun to try it. Amateur radio is there for experimenting. There are many modes like satellite TV, mobile phones, Wi-Fi would not be affordable without amateur radio operators inventing things like packet radio and testing it first. They're pretty much all derivatives of packet radio. Another bonus of the hobby is that it helps stop people from being socially isolated. It gives you a sense of achievement and is good for your mental health. If you are technically minded, you may want to get involved in building some of your own equipment, depending on your license level, such as Morse code radios. You can build little single board Morse code radios, adapters for alternative modes like FT8, designing and building antennas, which I have done, working with satellites, including the ISS. How much further do you want to go? There is quite a few amateur radio satellites up there. There are so many ways to participate, either solo or in groups. I barely scratched the surface of what is really possible. Amateur radio groups even launch their own satellites powered by Raspberry Pis. They call them CubeSats. They're only about 4 inches square. They have a limited lifetime, but when they launch them, you can use them. Check out the RSGB website in the UK at rsgb.org, or the ARRL in the USA, or the relevant site in your area. If you want to get more official info from Ofcom in the UK, they regulate the hobby, and that's where you get your licence from. So I will put all these links in the description below, and I hope it inspires you and some of your friends to get involved in amateur radio. It comes and goes like any hobby, particularly on shortwave, but overall it's a very enjoyable thing, and it's a lot better than staring at a box full of repeats every night and throwing things at it. So I hope you want to get involved. So thanks for watching, and as amateur radio guys say, best 73s, which means good wishes, and I'll talk to you all soon.